Power-tripping cop does not know the law. That's the title of today's video I'm reacting to from TX Christopher. Let's jump right into it.
Don't walk up to my car, please. What? Don't walk up to my car, please. Hey, man, you can't drive through the parking lot like that.
Okay, y'all, first of all, do y'all know where we are right now? We're at a Buckee's. Which definitely means we're in Texas, probably hence TX Christopher's username. As a lifelong Texan, it's hard to explain Buckee's. It's more than just a really big gas station. They also have really good food, and it's always really clean. It's a really good spot to use the restroom on a road trip, and they have a cute beaver. It's kind of like a cult Texan thing. And I think they're also expanding, trying to dominate the world currently. So maybe you do know what Buckee's is if you're not from Texas. I just wanted to point that out because it's interesting as a Texan. Let's get back to the video.
You got your driver's license insurance? Any weapons in the car I need to worry about?
No, man.
Is there any particular reason why you felt you needed to come through the parking lot like that?
I didn't think I did anything wrong. I just came over to get gas.
You were speeding and you cut through parking spaces. You know you can't do that.
Interest will be confirmed on Robert.
I didn't think I was doing anything, man.
I mean, you
all
whooped
I'm
around.
doing is coming to get gas.
Yep. Oh, are we gonna go back and forth, or are you just gonna?
You asked me a question. You want me to answer it or not? I'm not.
Okay, let's be real. You can already tell that this cop is totally an YouTube. So let me paint the picture here. Buckee's has really big parking lots, and sometimes they're not always completely full. And what it appears is happening here is this gentleman drove into the parking lot. No one was there, and he cut across where parking spaces are to get to the gas pump quicker. With that said, I think I know where this is going to go with respect to the legal arguments, but let's watch a little bit more just to be sure.
If anything, I thought I was going even slower than normal.
No, sir.
Because normally people don't even park where you park, and that's the direct path to the gas pumps.
Through the parking spaces is the direct.
I do realize that. I know that there's parking spaces there.
And you almost hit that car that was turning right there. I was watching, man. As soon as you
almost
cut in
hit
front of me
anybody.
like that, I was like looking and I watched it happen. So
I come here every day. There's almost never, ever, ever anybody. You were sitting there this morning. Now, last week for about 3 days, someone was parking there. But if I come here 365 days a year, which I do, there's someone sitting there maybe 10 times. So there's never ever a car there. So yeah, I go through there because it's the straight path from the entryway to here, which is what you're going to see everybody else do it.
So we have confirmation that the individual who is being pulled over did cut through the parking lot. He doesn't deny it. What he is denying, or what he is saying is, hey, listen, just because I cut through the parking lot doesn't mean I did anything wrong. And I'm sure he's going to make the argument that, hey, listen, Buckee's is private property. Their traffic control, parking lot management is not legally binding. And we'll address that legal issue in a little bit. But before we do that, I want to address his not legal arguments, but common sense arguments. One was he does this every day. Nobody's ever parked there usually. And 3, everybody else does it. These 3 explanations, while they do make sense and don't really offend the notions of justice, they aren't legal arguments, because you could do something illegal 365 days a year. That doesn't make it not illegal. Same with if other people do something illegal, that again also doesn't make it not illegal. Is it annoying that you're getting pulled over for it? Absolutely. And I'm not trying to mitigate that because this cop seems like a real dick. Let's keep going.
To you, it looked like I was going fast. To me, I thought I was going even slower than normal because I didn't want to get too close to you.
okay, sit tight for 1 second. You can fill up your car. Go ahead and fill up your car. Okay, I'm not gonna go back and forth and all that. I'm not gonna write you tickets, but the only reason I'm not writing you tickets is because I'm out of tickets right now. Okay, otherwise you would be receiving a citation.
For what?
Okay.
Would be the citation? I'm just curious.
Disregarding traffic control device.
Interesting. Interesting. So the cop is not going to write a ticket, but if he was going to write a ticket, he was going to write a ticket for failing to adhere to traffic control devices. However, the problem with that, or what I'm sure this gentleman is going to say is, look, these are private property. This is a private property traffic control device. This is different than me running a stop sign or a red light on the street. Me going across a parking lot of a private company is not an adequate traffic control device that you have jurisdiction of. Now, if this police officer really wants to get nasty and write a stronger ticket that maybe has more of a chance of being upheld, then he should write a ticket in the form of reckless driving. There are some legal violations that have nothing to do whether or not you're on private property or not. I mean, think about it. If you commit a murder and you're on private property, the law is still going to apply. If you endanger somebody, reckless endangerment or reckless driving, it doesn't matter whether you're on private property or not. But if the police officer wants to cite him for failing to adhere to traffic control devices, well, that is a little bit of a weaker argument. Let's see where this goes.
Property?
Yes.
Okay.
You still can't do that. It's still illegal.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not gonna write your ticket.
I hear you, man. I understand.
I don't appreciate the attitude.
Okay, even if the police officer is being a jerk, if he says he's not going to write you a ticket, the best thing you can do in this situation is just zip it and leave. Zip it, leave. Let the cop have his win, whatever, his power trip. I get it. Zip it and leave.
Two, I get it. You're upset. Nobody likes cops pulling up on them. Nobody likes it. Okay, but you know you did wrong. You know you're not supposed to cut through the parking lot. And instead of being like, "Oh yeah, I messed up. Sorry, it won't happen again," you want to sit here and go back and forth with me.
There's a lot better things than this to be doing for you, man.
You're right. I was working on a report.
You can be over here, and there's people right now running 90 miles an hour on the thing.
You want to go to jail?
So
you want to go to jail? You could go to jail for this.
you can do what you want to do. I can't stop.
I don't want to take you to jail.
You know?
That is definitely a waste of my time. Okay, but the attitude is not necessary.
I agree.
That's on your part, sir. I haven't been rude to you at all.
I mean, dude, you haven't raised your voice, but you've been rude. This whole interaction, you've been hostile, and you're calmly escalating the situation as well.
That's fine.
I have a camera on. I can't be rude to you.
Okay. All right.
That's not true.
I will get in trouble. You go file a complaint. Based on my behavior, they will decide whether or not to get me in trouble. Write me up.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
All right, well, I'll make sure that I'm there all the time. If I see it happen again, then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
All right?
I'll look that law up on private property, too. I don't believe you'd have the authority to do anything here on this parking lot like that.
I could also take you to jail for Class B reckless driving. Or I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. See, there it is. The police officer is now going to change to reckless driving because he probably realized that this guy may have a valid argument for the traffic control violation.
Class A reckless driving. Because you did almost hit that car.
I didn't almost hit anybody. I was nowhere.
Now he's throwing in another car to establish the reckless driving. And again, this doesn't matter whether or not it happens on private property or not.
There's cameras everywhere. You can do what you want to do, Harold. I can't stop you. If you want to be this way, then that's up to you. I'm trying to be a reasonable person.
Are you having a bad day, sir? Is there a reason why you're acting like
I'm having a bad day because you're doing
this
to me.
Have I raised my voice to you at all, sir? You're the only one who's getting upset.
I'm upset because I think this is a big deal.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that Attorney Tom / Attorney Reacts content is now on Spotify. We just launched a partnered show, link in the description. Go check it out. Now, back to the video.
I think this whole thing is ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous.
What do you think is ridiculous?
That we're even talking about nothing happened. And here we are talking, and you're threatening to take me to jail.
No,
and so I shouldn't be getting upset?
I don't call it a threat, sir.
No, it's a threat.
It's definitely a threat. I mean, let's be real. It's a threat to go to jail. This guy given the circumstances, he could have gotten in his car and just left, but he definitely feels like something isn't right and he's sticking up for what he believes in, but he's doing it in a calm way. He's not making any drastic movements. He's really not raising his voice. He is just articulating and making his point. I would argue that his demeanor is much calmer than the police officers.
You're threatening me under color of law now to take something on private property, which I don't believe you even have the authority to do.
But now you're term, sir.
Okay.
It comes from black laws.
No, it's not. It's a Class A misdemeanor for you to threaten to arrest me over something that you know is not really true. But that's okay.
What's the penal code on that, sir?
Trust me. That's okay.
Trust you.
Okay. We're good.
I see this a lot, but I don't think people really grasp how big of how much deference the police get in these kind of situations. Look, we all know watching this camera footage right now that this police officer probably doesn't have a lot of credibility if this thing were to go to a jury, but a jury doesn't get to decide the reasonable suspicion or probable cause. Here, if the police officer is claiming the reckless driving, which he switched from the failing to, control traffic violation, which again affects his credibility, in my opinion, then it's really just a he said. So it is way too deep down the rabbit hole to go down the, civil rights violations and threatening the police officer, because, you have to have just solid proof, right? And it's only going to make things worse. And I'm not trying to say that this isn't wrong, what the police officer is doing, but they just have such a wide deference. And if the police officer says, yeah, I saw him close to a car, he was speeding in a Bucky's parking lot, he almost hit someone, I thought it was reckless, well, that could very well be enough. Allow him to take action.
I don't feel like we are. I feel like this is this is a problem.
How is it a problem?
I feel like you're going to continue to commit these behaviors that are unsafe and put people at risk.
So
you don't feel like you did anything wrong.
Something that's possible they may do in the future. So now we're playing Jean-Claude Van Damme future cop. So you need to stop me from something I may do in the future. That's now your position. You're feeling like you should take action because maybe sometime in the future I might possibly continue to do something. Come on.
He's exactly right. You cannot arrest someone because of something they may or may not do in the future. If we really want to go down the rabbit hole, there's, you can get arrested for conspiracy or attempted thing, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. In the world of traffic violations, you can't arrest someone for a traffic violation that they might commit in the future. That is completely inappropriate.
What is the law designed to do, sir?
Oh, I know you want
designed
compliance.
to stop people from doing things that they're not supposed to be doing.
I know you want voluntary compliance.
Okay, go ahead and put your hands on your back.
Wow. I have an injury on my left arm.
I don't. Would you like 2 sets of handcuffs?
Not
Good.
Well, sir, I'm concerned that you're going to continue to do this unsafe behavior. So,
I'm familiar with the residence.
you want 2 sets of handcuffs?
This hurts, man. It hurts.
I can do 2 sets of handcuffs.
I cannot believe that you're doing this, dude.
Well, it didn't have to go this way.
No, it never did. None of this ever needed to happen. I don't believe.
Okay, well, I disagree with you.
Okay, I know.
What would you like me to do with your car? You want to call somebody or do I tow it?
Do we really need to do this, Harold?
Okay, but you wanted to sit here and argue with me about what I observed with my own eyes. Okay, I'll go get a copy of the video.
I didn't think we were close, Harold, at all. I didn't
Not
think
me.
I was close
You
to
didn't
anyone.
hit almost
you're
me.
talking about
You
the white
hit another
truck.
vehicle. Yes, you even know what truck I was talking about.
Yeah.
So again, at this point, it's a he said. He clearly knows the car that they were talking about. I don't think that was ever in question. It's just a matter of, was it reckless? And the police, again, have their deference, right? They have their ability to make judgment calls. The police officer here is articulating what his judgment call is. Maybe he's doing a little CYA based off of how this interaction is going. But as my criminal law professor said, it ain't fair.
Can we back this down, dude? Can we cool off here? Please. I'm sorry. I will.
You have forced my hand at this
I
point.
will.
Because if I don't go and see this through to its conclusion, I know you're going to go to the police department and file a complaint on me.
I'm not
Now, the
gonna do
complaint's
that,
not
sir.
going to do anything because...
Whoa. I want to listen to that again.
I'm sorry. I will.
You have forced my hand at this
I
point.
will.
Because if I don't go and see this through to its conclusion, I know you're going to go to the police department and file a complaint on me.
I'm not
Now, the
gonna do
complaint's
that,
not
sir.
going to do anything.
You have forced my hand because if I don't see this through, you are going to file a complaint? What? There's a saying amongst criminal defense lawyers that you can't beat the ride, but you can beat the rap. Meaning, if a police officer has it out for you and they want to bring you to jail, they can probably bring you to jail. Just like how here, they can probably bring this guy to jail. Probably not a violation. Is it bullshit? YouTube. Yes. Does this officer have any credibility? No. So this guy can beat the rap. He can beat this if this were to go to a judge or a jury. But the best thing to do in this situation, as lame as it sounds, is to finally just zip it. Had this guy just zipped it from the beginning, he wouldn't have even gotten a ticket. It has escalated. I'm not saying that both sides have totally clean hands. I mean, clearly this officer is a jerk. Our guy is getting a little heated as well, understandably so, but what that officer just said was completely inappropriate. You should never arrest someone solely out of fear of a complaint. So basically what happened is another police officer came with a ticket book, and instead of taking him to jail, the police officer wrote him a ticket. Okay, so that's it for today's video. That just shows you the judgment that police officers can use. Yes, the traffic control issue might have been a interesting legal issue had this gone up, but I think the police officer recognized the problems with it and changed his approach to reckless driving, which he has every ability to do. Now, does he have the credibility? Maybe not, but it's just an unfortunate situation that needlessly escalated, and I can see why TX Christopher is upset. Luckily, he didn't go to jail. All right, talk to y'all later. Check out our other videos. Bye.
Big verdict.